Good morning, all. This is Ned over at Philippine Dreams. Michelle cannot be here today as she is working. It is morning time here. I don't know if you can hear the roosters crowing in the background to announce the day, but it's about 7 o'clock. I usually get up around 5 o'clock, make myself a nice cup of 3-in-1 Nescafe coffee, and sit down to go over my YouTube channel comments. And this morning I noticed an intriguing comment left by a certain MKS Rookies in response to one of my videos. And basically what he said was, sounds like she's different syndrome. I didn't take it personally, and I don't know if he meant it in a pejorative manner, but it actually gave me a great idea for a little short video, and I'll try to keep it short and not ramble on too much. Basically, what is she's different syndrome, as referenced by Mr. Rookies? She's different syndrome is a collection of symptoms characterized, according to the Center of Disease Control in Atlanta, Georgia, by 3 things. The first is a loss of objectivity, and the second is clouding of judgment, and the third is poor decision making. Basically what it is you put somebody and that you're in a relationship with, a significant other, so far up on a pedestal, and your feelings for them, your love is so great that you've lost objectivity, and you're dealing with all this emotional subjectivity, which brings us from the rational to the irrational. Our judgment becomes clouded, and we start making bad decisions that not only affect that relationship, but all the relationships around you. Because when something like this happens, you have friends, you have family who are trying to intervene, trying to have little interventions, and it's also affecting them. And again, the situation usually occurs, as Mr. Rookies is referencing, for example, in the Philippines. Guy comes to the Philippines, he meets this young, beautiful, nice, sweet girl. He falls head over heels in love, and sometimes she doesn't bring the best of intentions to the table. Bad things start to occur, but he loves her, he's crazy about her, he's willing to overlook that, he's willing to give it second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th chances, and it starts to hurt him. And unfortunately, because he has lost the objectivity, he can't see it in himself. A lot of times this is easier to see in other people, and I'm sure we've all experienced it. So that's basically what she's different syndrome is. Oh, she's not like the other girls, she wouldn't do that, I trust her, etc., etc., etc. And again, the actions of the individual that this person is talking about or this person is in a relationship with can be totally contrary to that. But the person's subjective, irrational view on things isn't seeing that clearly. So that's basically what she's different syndrome is. Why does it occur? Basically because we're all Homo sapiens. We're all human beings. We're all emotional beings at heart. And we're liable to make, the mistakes that every other human being on this planet is going to make. When we're drawn into a relationship, when we fall in love, you can be the most rational, objective, down-to-earth, level-headed person in the world, but all that goes out the window. And again, we've all experienced it. This isn't something unique or something that's extremely rare. This is something that's very common to the human condition. Where does it occur? Mr. Rookies was referring to it, in the Philippines, but it's actually an international syndrome, this collection of symptoms that is called the she's different syndrome. It can occur anywhere. If you're from the West, from the United States, France, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, Italy, wherever, you've seen it, you've experienced it. It's not, these outbreaks do not occur in localized areas. It happens everywhere. And it's an international thing. It's an equal opportunity oppressor, the she's different syndrome. When does it occur? It can occur at any time. You could be 20 years old, you could be 70 years old, you could be 15 years old. It can happen at any time in your life. Usually as people get older, they tend to get more jaded, become a little less optimistic, so it starts to affect them a little less. They've been hurt, they've been scammed, they've been hustled, their feelings have been torn asunder or whatnot. So as you get older and you become more jaded, you become more resistant. Do you become immune? Absolutely not. You never become immune to the she's different syndrome. It can occur at any time. Who does it affect? Now this is where I take exception to the she's different syndrome because it can affect anybody. It can affect, as we said, it can affect French, Canadians, Americans, Filipinos, Chinese, but more importantly, it's not gender specific. This can also happen to women, the he's different syndrome. If we employ a little bit of empathy, if we put ourselves in the other person's shoes, we put for example, we take a Filipina. Filipina is basically, from what I've seen, looking for three things. They're looking for a trusting long-term relationship, they're looking to start a family, and they're looking for economic stability to nurture that family and keep it going long-term. So they're looking for specific things. A lot of guys, not going to say a lot of guys, oh my God, stereotyping, generalizations, or sweeping generalizations. There's a certain segment of guys that come to the Philippines or Southeast Asia or anywhere in the world actually to play, to have some games, to have some fun, to relax, to take a little holiday. And when we meet members of the opposite sex and we get to a certain level in the intimate relationship, we'll basically say anything sometimes to get what we want. It's kind of like Paradise by the Dashboard Lights by that Meatloaf guy. We'll swear we love them, we'll start a family, and they hear this and they're subject to the same emotions, if not more, than men are, because we're kind of like cavemen. But so they get caught in the he's different. They're telling their friends, oh, he's not like the other guys. He's not just going to sleep with me and then move on to another girl or another island or another country. He tells me he wants to start a family. He's serious. And sometimes they get burnt too. So this is, like I said before, this is an equal opportunity oppressor. It's gender neutral. It can happen anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter how old you are. And it's really a tough place to be because, again, you're making bad decisions. Your judgment is very clouded. Your best friend could be coming up to you and saying, hey, man, she's not good. She's doing this, X, Y, and Z. I love you, man. You gotta do something about it. And the next thing you know, you're hating your best friend. And you're allying with your partner or significant other against him. Same thing with family. Family, you know them, your entire life, and they're saying, hey, listen, you're making some bad decisions here, and you're not going to hear it. Is there inoculation? Is there a cure? Time. You got to give it time. You got to try to get as objective. You got to be willing to listen to other people. And sometimes you just got to take the pain. You got to take the suffering to learn the lesson. For some reason, some of us, myself included, I'm not saying this hasn't affected me. It certainly has. Jeez, been on this planet for 47 years. The best thing, it can happen time and time and time again. Again, some of us have been through many relationships. Some of us have been through multiple marriages, thinking, okay, this time it's different. This time she's special. It's trial and error. A lot of it's luck. Also knowing what you want, what your expectations are, what you're willing to bring to the table, what you're willing to do and not willing to do. And the not willing to do thing is very important also. So basically, thanks to MKS Rookies for inspiring this short little video. I hope you learned something. I think I learned something because I was actually able to think about this and look into it. Michelle is different, yeah, absolutely. And if you like the video, subscribe. Again, thanks to all our new subscribers. Thanks for all your comments. As long as it's respectful, I can take any feedback. I got thick skin. I'm a big boy. I'll be all right. So subscribe, leave comments. And this is Ned over at Philippine Dreams, and we'll see you next time. Peace.